In the Mouth of Madness, 1994, Sam Neill, Jürgen Prochnow, Julie Carmen, with David Warner and Charlton Heston. And of course, it's directed by John Carpenter. Now, Neill plays John Trent, a sharp, cynical insurance investigator who's been hired to track down a missing horror novelist called Sutter Cane, played by Prochnow. His books are literally driving their readers insane. It's the final chapter of Carpenter's loose Apocalypse Trilogy after The Thing and The Prince of Darkness. And it may also just be the purest Lovecraftian film ever made. It's a story about fiction so powerful, it rewrites reality itself. And here's one for the true believers. Late in the film, keep your eye on the paperboy Trent speaks to, because that is a 13-year-old Hayden Christensen, years before he became Anakin Skywalker. In the Mouth of Madness was his film debut. Now, we're running this one today for a reason. Sadly, Sam Neill has passed away on the 13th of July of this year, aged 78. He gave us Alan Grant. He was Damien in Omen 3, and he was part of the Event Horizon. He gave us a career of quiet, intelligent, unshakable presence. But some of his bravest, strangest work is right here, and this scene is one of the finest things he has ever committed to film. So consider this an archives tribute, a tip of the hat to an essential actor through an essential scene. 35 years in the UK movie and entertainment industry, from post-production to press. I'm Matt, and here we focus on the moments that built our love for cinema. This is Screen One, the definitive UK voice on 80s and 90s cinema, but without the noise. It's an archive built by somebody who was actually there. So why don't you subscribe today and join our growing video store society for more essential cinema every week. Now, here's where we are without giving the whole game away. Trent has traced Sutter Cane's trail to Hobbs End, a town that was supposed to exist only in Cane's fiction, and made it out the other side and changed and shaken. Back in the real world, he tries to destroy Cane's final manuscript and fails. He ends up committed to a mental asylum, insisting to anyone who will listen that reality itself is coming apart. Then the radio starts carrying reports, violence, mutilations, mass hysteria, spreading across the world exactly as Cane wrote it. Trent, the great skeptic, the one sane man, realizes the apocalypse has already begun and that he may be the one who delivered it. What you're about to watch is the very last thing that happens to John Trent. It is Carpenter delivering one of those great final scenes in all of horror. Now, fair warning, spoilers ahead, because this is the ending of the film in full. So if you've never seen In the Mouth of Madness, bookmark this and go and watch it cold. Then come back, because it is worth it. Let's roll this clip.
continue this emergency broadcast as long as we can hold out here. The city is almost completely deserted now. There are only a few stragglers left on the streets. No emergency services. The fires continue to burn out of control. This incredible epidemic of random mass killing has spread to every country in the civilized world. Every hour, more people are becoming infected, being driven to senseless acts of extreme violence. Now, we have gotten reports, sketchy at best, of people mutating, their bodies swelling and distorting, changing somehow. Locally, the mass killings appear to have moved inland. All the major cities on the East Coast are silent. We lost contact with Los Angeles and the West Coast last night, so it's impossible at this time to know how many unaffected people are left. If for any reason you are one of us who hasn't become infected, take shelter immediately. Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust friends or family members.
I'm sorry about the bolt. It was a lucky shot, that's all. What? I'm not insane. You hear me? I'm not insane! Relax, buddy. You're awake now. This is not a Sutter Cane story. This is not reality. Not reality. Not reality.
This is reality.
Hear that? Reality. Not reality. Reality.
Now, here's why this ending is essential and why almost nothing else in horror does what it does. Most horror films end by resolving the threat. Carpenter ends by resolving the audience. The monster in this film was never a creature. It was fiction itself. The idea that a story, once enough people believe it, it becomes real. And so the only possible ending is the one where the story swallows its own hero. Trent breaks out of his abandoned asylum cell, heavily disheveled, covered in charcoal crosses. He wanders through a surreal, emptied out, desolate city until he stumbles across a cinema. And he goes in, sits down alone with a bucket of popcorn, and the film starts playing. The one that is In the Mouth of Madness, the film we have been watching. It is retelling the events of his own life back to him, frame by frame. And in that moment, he understands everything. His entire life, the investigation, every choice he thought was of his own free will, all of it was penned by an author of cosmic horror. He was never a man who read the story because he is the story, and there is nothing left to do but laugh at the cosmic irony of all of it. Now, watch what Sam Neill does with that. This is a masterclass in a very specific and very hard thing. Playing a man losing his mind while staying completely legible to the audience. It doesn't rush it. It starts as a smirk, the old cynic's reflex that's not possible. Then the smirk curdles, the laughter comes, and it's not villain's laughter. It's the sound of a rational mind realizing rationality was always the joke. It builds into something hysterical and genuinely painful. And underneath it, there are tears because he understands fully that there is no self left to save. Neill plays the despair and the hilarity in the same breath, and he holds it right on the edge without ever tipping into ham. Very few actors could sit alone in an empty room with no one to act against but a screen and carry the entire thematic weight of a film on their face. But he does. And look at Carpenter's craft around him. The empty cinema is the ultimate fourth wall break made physical. Trent is us, sitting in the dark, watching. The projector light on Neil's face is the only real illumination left in his world, because the film is his world now. It's bleak, brilliant, formally perfect closing of the loop. And it turns the simple act of watching a movie into the horror itself. That's why this ending has only grown in stature in over 30 years. It was too clever, too cold, too meta for 1994 audiences who wanted a monster and a survivor. Today, It's recognised as one of the boldest final scenes Carpenter or the genre ever attempted. Now, for me, this is one of Carpenter's underseen greats, the final twist ending, where we discover what is really going on and that maybe we, the audience, are who John Trent is laughing at. And maybe this is some form of Inception-style dream reality within a dream reality, is where Carpenter really wants us. It makes this film far more layered than anyone had ever realised. It's worth seeking out, especially as the sad news of Sam Neill dying this week. Now, while most people will likely seek out Jurassic Park, this is actually one of his best ever performances. Carpenter takes a combination of H.P. Lovecraft, along with Cthulhu, along with a dash of Stephen King, to create a creature feature with King-style dread, but with all the Carpenter tropes, including the hero's helpless ending. And if you watch when they approach Sutter Cane's house, there is more than just a dash of The Omen about it, which of course features Sam Neill in the third part as the adult Damien. It's very overlooked, and maybe now is your time to correct that. So if it's been years since you sat with this one or you've somehow never seen it, this is the week to fix that. Watch it for Sam Neill. So why don't you subscribe and join our Video Store Society and tell me in the comments what was Neill's favourite performance that stays with you. But most of all, remember, essential cinema always.